right, let's make sure y'all can hear me. Make sure y'all can hear me. Y'all know I got it because I hate to get into it and you can't hear me. All right. Test. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the All Things Life and Sports podcast with Kylan Thomas. That's me. I'm your host, Kylan Thomas. Let's get into it. So yesterday, previous videos, we did the Buffalo Bills. Yesterday, we did the New York Jets. Today, we are going to do the Miami Dolphins. We finishing up the SE. Today, we're going to do Miami either not tomorrow, day after tomorrow, probably Saturday. I might do it tomorrow. We're going to go and finish off with the Patriots. Finishing off with Miami. Now, you see the title I got right. They trying to make this thing the new Green Bay, and I mean, the head coach, former defensive coordinator, Green Bay, Malik Willis, Green Bay, GM John Eric Sullivan was one of his longest stints, Green Bay. Like, what's going on? But Miami started off with a horrible 1-6 start to the season last season. I mean, we all know that Mike McDaniel fired, Tua traded, no Tyree Hill, Jalen Waddle gone. So this is a rebuild. It's a rebuild, but you bring in a Malik Willis. It's like a rebuild, not rebuild. But the horrible 1-6 start to the season, bad decision making from Tua, um, getting benched during the season. But then they eventually went on a 5-win stretch in 6 games. They ended up finishing 7-10, but they were eliminated from the playoffs because they lost the week 17 game to Pittsburgh. So having a season like that, which we all thought too, Heisman, you saw what he did at Alabama coming in, highly efficient. His efficiency was one of his the great a calling card of his, very efficient, accurate. But it is also kind of, it's easy to be accurate when I could just dump it off to somebody 5 yard. I could just give you a slant. I could just hit you for a screen and you take that more 80, 90, 100 yards. That's going to make me look good. Yeah, I'll be real efficient, dinking and dunking. But again, like I said, the Dolphins made major moves this offseason. Got rid of the head coach and Mike McDaniel. Got rid of the QB. You got a new GM. Literally, like the three cornerstones, all new this year. All new. And like the 3 cornerstones I mentioned, head coach, GM, quarterback, like I said, they all come from Green Bay. But for Mike McDaniel, let's start with the head coach. I ain't gonna get on him too much. But I mean, you could just look at him feeding off his energy. He went from he was never gonna be able to lead a group of 53 men. 53 men on top of your staff. You got to deal with grown men within your staff as well. Them dude wasn't relating to no Mike McDaniel. Did y'all hear him talk? I listen to him talk. I watch his press conferences. He weird to me. So I can just imagine a locker room full of 53, the type of sport football is, the type of men that play football, they ain't listening to no Mike McDaniel. That was never gonna work. But that's why they were so all this finesse and speed. We want to be speedy. We want to be cute. We want to be. That's why they ain't physical. That's why they ain't one tough. They ain't had no grit. That's why they can't play when I got to go play in Foxborough, when I got to go play in Buffalo, when I got to go play in New York. That's why they struggle, because it ain't no toughness there. It ain't no. But when the guy that's leading us don't give that, that's why Miami hadn't won no playoff game in 25 seasons. But I want to play this because I'm gonna give y'all a little glimpse, like 30, 25 seconds into Mike McDaniel. The man had a press conference and said what that man said: to win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game. I mean, and I said he weird to me. Now, it ain't nothing wrong with being weird. Some people may find me weird, but it different. Y'all know what I'm saying. It's different types of weird. And his weird is like like nah, what bro on, like he, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just gonna play. Let's just be real. He went from the relation 50. Most of them are black athletes. Like, let's just call that what it. But here is Mike McDaniel, that interview I'm talking about, where he's here it is.
Where to win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game. Honestly, and that is how you lose the game. You're moving the ball down the field. You're 1st and 10, and then you find yourself at 2nd and 20. That was critical.
I mean, he can't even stand up there, and he got a lot of press. I was trying to get it compiled. I was trying to find a compilation, but because I wanted to show just through our history, I've seen some of his pressures as well. Who was gonna run through a wall for that? That's always been a problem in Miami. Like I said, that's why they ain't won no playoff game in 25 seasons. So they got rid of Mike McDaniel, which also, and that we'll get more into it because I mean he is the OC for the Chargers. Whenever I talk about the Chargers, we'll get more into. He is a great offensive mind, but as we know within this business and history tell us, most people are better as OCs or DCs rather than head coaches. Most dudes are better in college rather than the NFL. Most better than the NFL rather than college. It just is what it is. And the time just finally came to and said, you know what? We gonna they just clean house. Usually is it the quarterback or the coach gonna go, quarterback or the coach, and that was some of the talk during the season. Which one was they gonna let go? They said we get rid of all of them, including the GM. But that's them. They done got rid of Mike McDaniel on the tour. They ended up trading away Tua Tagovailoa to the Falcons as somebody from Georgia. I'm in Atlanta. That one was, that was a little interesting for me. I actually been trying to go to a game, just I just I'm a Jaguar fan, but when I ain't, if I'm not in Jacksonville, if I'm somewhere I can still go to a game, I'll go. So that was interesting. I'm like, oh, okay, to Atlanta. But we all know his history, what he's went through in Miami, the concussions. I mean, the last one he had, we was even like, should he continue playing football? I mean, me personally, I knew that was never in question. He was not going to stop playing football, but it was a like a real discussion that needed to be had. We all know Tua's concussion history, but I ain't gonna lie to you, how he played this season, especially at the start of the season, some of the decision making he had on some of them interceptions, and we gonna do somebody put an all 22 compilation. We gonna look at a couple of them. I sped it up, but some of his decision making, I ain't gonna lie, man. Me did the concussion affecting you still? You got CTE or something like that? Because I'm like, and it was uncharacteristic, which that was what more to talk. It was uncharacteristic to see that from Tua, because like I said, Tua is an efficient quarterback. That's one of he's efficient. Now he gonna give you 5 yard slants, bubble screens and stuff like that. But I mean, I got Jalen Waddle, I got Devon A. Chain, I got Tyreek Hill. I ain't gotta do much. Or I can just throw that mug up to Tyreek Hill. I know he gonna go get it. I could just throw that mug up to Jalen Waddle. I know he gonna go get it. But he wasn't Tua when it came to the decision making. I mean, like I said, he even got benched at a certain point in the season as well. But and I want to play. It's not funny, but it's this video. It's like a minute long of Eli and Peyton on one of their Monday Night Football. The when they do their Monday Night Football, they actually predicted the interception that Tua is gonna throw, and we finna play it. It's like a minute long, but it's Tua went through this past season. He went through.
Good job right there. You can see that with his feet, Pay. A little play action. He's coming. He looked for one, not there. Number two, right there. He probably got to a swing route to one of those escort plays for number three. So he seems to be in rhythm right here. Same thing. Two. Oh no. No.
He didn't get everything on it. Eli. It's cover like two. There's nothing to hold that cornerback. There's nothing in the flat to hold him. When you throw a corner route, you got to have somebody in the flat to hold that cornerback. Otherwise, he's going to sink. He got nothing on that throw. Eli. Yeah. Mike McDaniel talked about Tua being a point guard, right? Not a shooting guard right there. You don't have to force those throws. Just take what the defense gives you and be patient. Be the point guard.
So there you have it. Peyton and Eli saw how the ball came off his hand and knew, oh yeah, that's going to be an interception. That was Tua Tagovailoa's 2025 NFL season. I mean, I went and saw some games looking at his stats, 50% completion percentage from Tua. 50% completion percentage. And now this right here, because this we got to start the all 22. The all 22. And I'm gonna stay up for it. Because look at this. Look at this. This one. I mean, this pick just goes into his season. Look at it. Oh wait, I sped it up. Cause I was just gonna play him back to back. But I just want y'all to see this. Let me slow it back down because I want y'all to really look at this. Just look at this pick. I mean, like, where's Tua throwing it to right there? Where is he throwing it to? That was what Tua was doing, especially in the beginning of the season, throughout the season. Hence why he got benched. That is what Tua Tagovailoa was doing this season. And look at it. Look at another. Look at another. Let's that ain't no him. I don't know what that was. And some of these are like the same, just like Gino's, same game. So it's like multi-pick. This may be the same one. Put it behind them, inaccurate. I mean, like we could just go through, like you just go through this video and you'll just see examples of uncharacteristic play from Tua. Let's check this one out. I ain't look at this whole one. I won't really, I mean, he threw it high, but I wouldn't really say that one no. I mean, it goes into the inefficiency, the inaccuracies. But right here at your goal line, why they didn't run the ball here? Nah. I mean, like Tua, but I mean, it's horrible throw, but that's on culture too. I don't know why you just ain't running it. Now that's crazy after what he's showing you this season. But that's why Mike McDaniel gone too. But Tua's 2025 rankings. He was 26 in total QBR. He 20, whether you ask NFL or you ask ESPN, he was either 20th or 22nd ranked in total passing yards. He finished with 20 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. And then here, I'm going to play because, and that's that on Tua. But we all knew the talk, especially when they brought in the new GM, John Eric Sullivan, who had previous stints, but longest with Green Bay. He said at the combine, I want to say it was the combine, if you look at the background, he said, I already know y'all gonna ask me about Tua and where we at on that. We're gonna actually go and play that one because he kind of already let you know, like we're we're exploring everything. What is that? Here we go. He said we're exploring everything.
We're evaluating the entire roster, right? As it pertains to Tua, I know that question is coming, so I'll just get ahead of the curve. We've had conversations with Tua and his representation. Everything's on the table, including the potential of a trade. We don't know which way that's going to go. There's a lot of different factors at play, a lot of conversations being had.
So that was the GM, the new GM who was appointed, basically telling that he's not beholden to him. We all know how this goes. Tua was out of there anyway. They fired the coach, you fired the GM, you replace the head coach, you replace the GM. They're not beholden to the quarterback that's on the roster. Okay, we got years of Tua, what Tua can do, possibly his ceiling. We saw how he played last season. They don't want to hinge they sword on Tua Tagovailoa. So of course he was gonna get traded. He tied to Mike McDaniel and who the previous GM was. But just I want to give y'all a glimpse of the current GM, and he gonna mention, y'all say Miami, they can't play in cold weather, they can't. So he gonna talk about like what his expectations are and what he's doing, what he's trying to build for the Miami Dolphins. He gonna throw shots at what's been the problem in the past.
I think what excites me most is the opportunity to bring a proven process to the Miami Dolphins to build a winner. I think to go to work with a lot of really good people every day and build a team that will become the standard of excellence and chase championships for years to come. Build a tough, physical, talented team that's resilient and can thrive in any situation, any element, and win. I have a lot of love and appreciation for this place, and it's important to myself to come to work here every day to build you a winner and something you can be proud of.
How would you describe your football philosophy briefly?
Win.
So that was Dolphins' new GM, John Eric Sullivan. He said it. You see how he said tough? They want tough. They want to be all finesse and cute. Can play in any element. What was the problem? When it get later in the season, they were balling when it hot, when they in that Miami weather. But when it got to the later parts of the season, when you got to go to these cold places, that's where he was struggling. What he said, I want to build a tough team. I want to build a team that can thrive and play in any element. That was the new GM. And with the hire new GM, John Eric Sullivan, they go out and get Green Bay quarterback Malik Willis signed to a 3-year, $67.5 million deal. The big thing about Malik, we all know it's different when you the backup and when this is your team, this is your franchise. You are the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. Everything go through you. Ain't no when somebody get hurt or ain't no, I might not play the game. If I do, I'll be ready. Nah, your preparation now. You are the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. How is he going to respond when adversity hits? When they get the booing or when they get the calling for his job? Because everybody love the backup. Everybody love the backup quarterback. But how he gonna respond when he the starter and everybody calling for Quinn Ewers to come into the game, the young guy? How are you gonna respond when teams are game planning for you every week? Coming in and I wouldn't say spot up. That's not the right term. You ain't coming in and as a surprise because Jordan Love done got hurt. Which there's still a little tape on you, but we ain't game plan for you, bro. Teams, their game plan is centered around you. How is Malik Willis going to respond? But I actually like the move. He showed promise. We seen how he stepped in and performed with Green Bay. We know his tenure in Tennessee, but like what did we just say about Sam Darnold when we was talking about Geno and the Jets and them? How are they going to look when they get around competent coaching, pieces, a good roster? We see what he did in Green Bay. The Dolphins, they look like they building something. They ain't Green Bay, but they look like he got pieces. You got Devon A-Chain. They done signed, they got the wide receiver, Taj Washington. They done signed Tutu Atwell, your deep threat. Now you still don't got Tyreek. You still don't got Jalen Waddle. And to be frank with you, you got your tight end, Greg Dulcich. OC, we're going to get it to him, Bobby Slowick calling plays. So the only thing, I'll tell you what he got better than what he had at Tennessee. We see development from him. We know he worked. He done developed. His mechanics look better. He'll wear you down in the run game. I just want to know how he going to respond when adversity hits and they get to call him for a job. But here is Malik Willis actually talking about his growth in the mechanics because, again, we all know Tennessee, Green Bay was a backup. So how this going to translate to starter? But here's him. He talking about his growth and how he grew as a quarterback.
Most improved as a quarterback?
I mean, I can only give all the honor and glory to God for the journey he's taken me. I mean, from coming in as a rookie from an RPO system where we threw a lot of deep balls, we ran a lot of zone read, to having to get under center every play and really just take command of an offense, an NFL offense that has I don't know how many plays, and each and every year in Tennessee, I got a new offense and a new offense and a new offense. So it's crazy how the journey works. I didn't do great when I first got there. I wasn't ready, and you just continue to learn and build when the cameras are not on, when you're not in the front light, and then you get another opportunity. You're only good as your last time getting on the field. All they can do is judge the film.
I love that opportunity.
Okay, so that was Malik Willis. Again, like we talked about, Tennessee. And it's the problem with a lot of these young quarterbacks. That's why people talking about they need to get back to developing them in college. All this RPO, zone read stuff, and then in the NFL, you actually got to run an NFL offense. Did he develop that during the last couple of years in Tennessee? Did he develop that in Green Bay? Like you said, he feels like he's ready now. He's grown. He's learned how to develop an NFL offense as a quarterback. So now can we see him do it for 17 games? But I want to talk, we're going to play him here too, because they asked him, how is this going to look for you now as a starting quarterback?
This is your organization.
I don't think I put a timeline on it. I think it happened when I was prepared. I think when I came in the league, I wasn't prepared. And that's not a knock toward my coaches or myself. That's just what it was, coming from the system I came from. And I've had a chance to learn the last 4 years since I've been in the league, and went through 4 different offenses and seen a bunch of different defenses. And I just think I've grown a lot, and I'm grateful for the opportunity once again.
How did this process work this time, since you know these guys? Did they go through your agent? Did they call?
So, again, there he was saying these last 4 years, he's learned, he's developed, and now he's finally getting his opportunity to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. We all gonna get that out. What you do with it, it's up to you. Then, so GM, quarterback, they also have to hire a head coach. Now, this one also was a surprise because they got a guy named Jeff Hafley. Now, this one, because a lot of people was like, who? Jeff Hafley, who most like, did he even have any head coaching interviews? He did 2 seasons as a DC in Green Bay. Has he ever had any coaching interviews before? But I'm gonna go back to here to my Jaguars. We said the same thing about Liam Cohen. He only called play for a year with Tampa. People like Liam Cohen. Can he be a head coach? We the only team that interviewed him, that wanted him. Miami. Now I will say Miami. Miami is Miami. Jaguars, Jacksonville, that's Miami Dolphins is kind of probably a little more esteemed. So it's like y'all go this Jeff Hafley, but we're gonna play it. But in listening to him talk and speak, and when he did his speech, and we're gonna play it also, he did his speech at OTA. You could tell his presence commands a room. He command them dudes was paying attention. Them dudes totally different than Mike McDaniel. Totally different. But like I said, he was former defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. Last season, Green Bay's defense was 12th ranked in total D, 11th in passing D, 18th in rushing D. For total, they was 2 spots outside of being a top 10 defense. But to note, they were actually ranked 6th in total yards allowed before Micah got hurt, and after Micah got hurt, that put them to about 12th. So after their star player got hurt, the defense did kind of go down a little bit. So we can see, just especially based off the total defensive ranking, they were above, let's just say elite, about 2 spots outside of being elite. I said top 10. That's almost elite. So that's who the Dolphins hired to be their new head coach. Like I said, when I'm talking about Aaron Glenn, is he gonna do what his counterpart over there in the AFCs with the Jets, Aaron Glenn, and go and learn which he is, because he's already said he's calling the defensive play. He ain't trying to learn from that mistake. He's calling his defensive plays, and like the model which we talked about, get you a good OC, which they went out and hired Bobby Slowick. Get your OC to work with your quarterback. We're gonna get into him a little bit next, but listening to the GM speak, physicality, toughness. You go and hire your DC that you were just with in Green Bay and Jeff Hafley. That's another thing too, guys. We have to understand and realize relationships too. They all was just in Green Bay. Literally Malik, Jeff, and John, the GM. So can Jeff bring a culture of toughness, grit, passion? Can he make that defense the pieces that they already have? Because if you look in free agency, they really ain't do a lot in free agency. They built they got some draft, but they ain't really building the free. They ain't really bring in all these free agency that you think a team like this would. They more so was worried about bringing in a staff, getting us a coach. Dan Campbell. Now he ain't defense, but he kind of give me that same like stoic. When he did his person, we're gonna play it. He wasn't no I'm straight at you. I'm talking. You gonna pay attention. Command you. My presence is demanding. That's what he give off. Will it translate to anything on the field? We'll see. But so far, the GM the same way. They have a certain presence about them that they ain't playing no game. But here is Hafley. I want to give y'all this pressure. Yeah, here we go.
I've kind of had the core beliefs which we're going to instill in this football team, into the players and into this organization. And the first one is trust. And a lot of people use that word lightly. And I think right now in the world we live in, a lot of people are slow to trust. It might be you, it might be the players. And that's all right, because I'm going to earn it. The next thing that I believe in is belief. And I think this is really powerful, because it's a hard world right now where people read stuff, they see stuff, and you'd be surprised on how much insecurity there is with players, with coaches, with everybody. And I'm going to let those players know that I believe in them. And in turn, what you're going to see a group of guys that believe in themselves. And that becomes powerful. Because when they start to believe in themselves and our team starts to connect with each other, then look out. Because you get that connection, and then we want to talk about accountability, then we have accountability. And accountability is love. And it's an extreme level of accountability. And when we build a standard and it starts to become real, the player will start themselves accountable. But that's going to start with me. And the final thing that I'm going to talk to them about every single day is toughness. That's physically, that's mentally, that's everything that we do. And it's a toughness that thrives on competition. And it's a toughness that reflects the people and the spirit of the city of Miami.
Sport Court has been
Understand the urgency, guys. We don't have many of these. There's 2 done. These are going to go fast. We have to get better every day. You have to find a way to get better every day. And there's a lot more mental right now than there is physical. That's just the way this thing is built, right? So you got to get on the tape. If you need extra help, you got to see your coaches. Tomorrow, there's going to be more installs. Each day, there's going to be more installs. This is not slow. You guys understand what I'm saying? So the urgency's got to build, and we got to get better every single day. We don't have time. There's a race for that. Good work. Your effort was outstanding. I can't wait to watch the film. Malik, you got him. I've kind of had the core.
So that was just giving y'all a glimpse of Coach Hafley's persona, demeanor, that demanding that I said. Like, you can tell he ain't playing no game. He ain't with all that cute and can't barely talk with what Mike McDaniel was on. This man is straight, but this man is straightforward. This is what I expect. This is my expectations. Ain't none of that playing stuff. Because it was so many dudes was able to do what they wanted to do on the mic, but that you could tell that ain't happening. That ain't happening here with this dude right here. But like we all say, with defensive coach, you go out and get you an OC. So they could decide to they decide to promote who the current Miami passing game coordinator. They decide to promote Bobby Slowick, who was previously the year before with the Texans. The past 2 was with the Texans. He had CJ Stroud his first year, that elite year. We all was like, look at Stroud. Then that next, he was getting head coaching interviews. It was great. It was tremendous. Then next season, we went. So when they get some tape on, there's tension between Stroud and Slowick. Play calling predictable. A tremendous drop off in the offense from the year before. To report CJ not coachable, not listening to Slowick. How you go from the first year to the second year? So in Hafley, I'm thinking he saw what he did with Stroud the first year, young quarterback, first year started. He saw what he did. That's going to be what he got to do with Malik Willis. Yep, Malik Willis is still young. Been in the league for a year, but this is his first time starting. You're our guy for 17 games and hopefully playoff. We saw what he did when he had a guy like that. And Malik seems humble, coachable. I'm not saying Stroud won none of them things, but just listening at Malik talk, demeanor, the work, you can see the work ethic because you see the improvement within him. I believe Malik and Slowick, that relationship, because we've seen from Slowick what he'll do in a guy's first year. Just think about what he do in that run game. A-Chain, you still got Tutu Atwell, the deep threat. Drafting Caden Proctor. They want to be physical. Malik can tear you up in a run game, and he get coming downhill. He's stout. So it's going to be interesting to see what Slowick can do. Slowick and Malik Willis, that pairing is going to be interesting. And speaking of physicality, because I want to play it, because this is actually coming from your OC. I want to play this. Speaking of that toughness.
fast and violent. He wants opponents to feel beat up after playing the Dolphins.
How beat up do you want opposing defenses to feel on Monday mornings or Tuesday mornings after a game?
We used to go through and chart teams' records after they played us in San Francisco, and there was a pretty stark difference in change of record for 1 to 2 games after we had played a team. We often would go into games and talk about how these games are going to be ice bag games. You know, you're going to have to come out of this, and it's going to be like you were in a boxing match. Yeah. And we got to embrace that. We got to thrive in that environment.
Now, Slowick cut his teeth in the NFL.
That was Slowick. He literally came to an organization, he said, that tracked teams' records after them because they tearing you up, we beating you up. That's the mindset. The GM got that physical mindset. The OC got that physical mindset. The coach got that physical mindset. You got a stout quarterback in Malik who can tear you up in the run game. That within itself let me know this Dolphins team is different. They ain't about all that cute stuff. They finna be tough. They finna be, and them think Caden Proctor with their first pick let you know they finna be physical. They finna bust you in the mouth. And just to go over a couple of they free agents, like I said, they weren't really they big free agent Malik Willis. They brought in Tutu Atwell, signed former Chargers O-lineman Jamari Salyer. They retained though Greg Dulcich, somebody they retained, Jordan Brooks, linebacker. But you lose you lose Water, you lose Tyreek Hill, you lose Bradley Chubb. I mean, they did lose a little. They lost more than it seemed that they gained. They did. That's why I said this year it's a rebuild, but not rebuild, but not. You don't bring in Malik Willis to go 4-13. You don't sign into a 367 to go 4-13. But that's actually not that bad of a contract. But oh yeah, some more, like a couple more defenses. They brought in Joshua Uche, outside linebacker, who's the Eagles. They brought in David Ojabo, another outside linebacker. So yeah, defensively they seem to have retained more depth in plugging in pieces. But like we say, just because somebody may be more active in free agency, that don't mean nothing, because you shouldn't need all them free agents. Like, look at us Jaguar fans. We like, dang, why we weren't active in free agency? When we had all them years where we were, it ain't amount to nothing. You shouldn't want to need to keep bringing in people. You want to be able to draft and develop. But let's take a look at their draft cast. Like I said, Caden Proctor with their first pick. Did they draft him for need? Like, he need to play now because they got Patrick Paul at left tackle, so he's probably not gonna play at left tackle. You could put him at guard. GM Sullivan said he loves versatility along his offensive line, so he's definitely gonna play. Most likely not gonna be at the position, not gonna be at left tackle, but he's definitely gonna play. They drafted cornerback Chris Johnson, elite ball skills. This is the pick I love because I wanted him for my Jaguars. They go linebacker Jacob Rodriguez, and I'm shocked he lasted that long because there was talks where we were saying why he wasn't at least even in the Heisman conversation, how he was balling at Texas Tech. Just even being in the conversation. I mean, that's a steal to me. And you pair him alongside Jordan Brooks. So I think that pick is going to be legit for them. We're going to play our last little clip. And this was actually them, talking about the draft class because they were asked. It seems as though they did go more best player available rather than need, because there was talks, why didn't they draft Ruben Bain? Keep him in Miami. You need a pass rusher. You lost Bradley Chubb. So here is GM Eric Sullivan talking about, seems as though they drafted more BPA rather than need.
Yeah, I mean, and those other guys again. I want to make sure I'm being very clear here. You know, those other guys that you mentioned are very good football players, and the Dolphins would have been lucky to have them. But yeah, it is a best player available approach, and there's a lot of conversations that go into it. You never have any way of knowing what your needs are going to be. You know, I've said that to you before, and I believe that in my heart of hearts. I mean, you can have an embarrassment of riches in a room, and then you got a hamstring and an ankle, and now you're going to your emergency board. So we took the players that we felt like were the best for the Miami Dolphins. That's no shot at anybody that didn't end up here. I'm sure they'll go on to have wonderful careers, and we wish them nothing but the best. But we're very happy with who we took and who we wound up with.
Was there a point in the draft where you might have considered Jermon McCoy, or did you guys have him medically red flagged?
You know what? He's a wonderful talent and a really good kid. And I'm going to stay away from talking about the medical of anybody or any players up here. But, you know, I wish him the best. I hope he has a great career.
So can you speak to your process?
So that was them letting you know, yeah, our approach was BPA, this draft best player available. So like I do with each team, we gonna end off looking at their schedule. Again, on the team schedule, I know and have really dived in is my team, the Jaguars. So I just like to do this last little bit to kind of take a peek. Again, once I do every team, then I'm gonna preview the division and we really dive in. But I just want to, based on the moves and everything we just went over, I just want to take a peek at the schedule and see. They got this thing, y'all. We'll just okay. 49ers at 40. Who? 49ers, Vikings, Bengals, Patriots, Lions, the Big Bears, Broncos, Packers, Chargers. Who? Tough schedule. Your division already tough. You got to go against the Bills and Patriots twice. They got a tough schedule. Tough schedule, especially for first-time head coach. First time everywhere around. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. I've seen people popping in and out. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you to those that's going to watch after the fact. Make sure everything done before you try to have fun. Peace.